Whew. Oh, here we are. Sweating all. It's hot out here. I could have stayed inside, but I like sitting outside in the sun. And it's shady here, but it's still really hot. So, anyway, here we are. Um, if you're new here, I am Scott, and I am an American. I got to put my head back here. I'm an American who's been here for 30 years now. And today we're going to talk about, you know what we got to do? We got to move this back, turn it down a little bit. There we go. I don't know what the deal here. Let's see. Maybe the other way. There we go. Got to have my head in the right spot until the sun moves up. Anyway, today we are talking about something that every expat and every future expat should think about, and that is what makes the perfect expat destination. As you can see, Thailand is hot because I'm sweating. Uh, but whether you're retired, semi-retired, getting ready to retire, whatever it is, you're looking for a better quality of life. There are a lot of factors to consider, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. As always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member or hitting the super chat during the stream. That's very good. And also, if you'd like to send me a Dear Scott letter or a request for a consultation, just email an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. Now, I got to just make sure. See this? All right. I think the sun is starting to go up now, which is good. But anyway, this is what we're going to talk about today. So, how's everybody doing? There's not very many people out here yet. Anybody? Anybody? Sawadee, Sawadee, Sawadee Ton Chow, Oolon Mak. Wanilon Ma. Today it's very, very hot. Sweating, and I don't have any hair. I'm still sweating. Can you all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Is it loud and clear? Today, I am at Miwana Coffee. Miwana Coffee, basically, all I had to do is jump on the SkyTrain, get off on Suwon Luang Ramakau, and then from there, uh, I just took a song towel because I was going to take a motorcycle, but there were no motorcycles. Then I was going to take a taxi, but it's like I just didn't want to walk because it's so hot. So I jumped on a song towel, cost me 8 baht. They took me a couple of blocks, and here I am at Miwana Coffee. It's very, very good. This place, I really like it a lot. I've been here before, and they got great coffee. They got great food. They serve breakfast. They serve all kinds of sweets, but they serve all kinds of coffee, and the coffee is very good. So, if you're in the neighborhood, if you're anywhere near the yellow line, you can get off on, I think, Udom Suk and also um, uh, either that or Suan Luang Ramakau. And then you have to walk a little ways or take a song towel or a motorcycle or whatever, but you can get here. And it's a little bit hidden. So just you type in Miwana Coffee. I'll put the information down below when the stream is over. Great place. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's about 12, 13 people here right now. So it's busy. I didn't think it would be that busy because, it's Friday. I try to take a grab over here. This way I get door to door. They drop me off. Grab driver picks me, says he's going to pick me up. 2 minutes later, oh, sorry, I'm too far away. He's like a block away. So I decided not to take the grab. Just take the BTS, and here I am. I think it cost me 42 baht to get here. Just crazy. The prices on the yellow line are they're a little bit too expensive if you ask me. Even though that's only about $1.30 or something like that. It's like it's more expensive than some of the other lines. I don't know. It's not like the MRT. The MRT is very good, even without uh, the elder discount that I get. Anyway, let us proceed. Man, it is so hot out here. If I sit inside, I have to sit at the bar because all the other tables are so low, and I don't have the extension tripod today. So, and that's why I am where I am right now. I mean, I have to tilt the camera up, and so that's why I came outside. But man, it's hot out here. All right, this might not be a real long stream. I don't know. Um, Now, when you're thinking about moving abroad, what are your top priorities? You have to think about these things. And obviously, I've been living here for a long time. And while Thailand has a lot of great things going for it, there are still things that could be better. So today, I want to break this down into some different categories and hear your thoughts as well. I'm going to tell you what my ideal expat destinations need to have, and you can tell me if there's anything else. And one thing I see here I didn't put is women because I got a woman, right? But okay, it's a social environment, I guess you could say. But okay, let me go through these real quick. All right, I'm going to tell you what I think and then you can chime in and let me know what you think. The first thing, got to have good health care. I don't want to be somewhere where, like, if I break my leg, I don't know if my leg's going to be set properly, or they're going to have to send me to another country to be taken care of. I don't really need that at this juncture in my life. Number two, reasonable cost of living. And reasonable for me, as a if I were a single person, would be $1,500 to $2,500 a month for a somewhat comfortable life. And you can go all kinds of places in the world for that range. I would say 2,000 to 2,500. You can live very comfortably. And I was looking at Portugal. Now, Portugal's a little bit expensive if you stay in the cities, but they have a D7 visa that's not really all that bad. I mean, you need like about I think it's 830 euros if you're single, and then it's 430 for your wife, and like 1,100 or something like that if you both are going to stay in Portugal. So you need about 1,500 euro, which is it's not even $2,000 for two people. Okay, that's pretty cheap. Uh, Got to have clean air. I'm sorry. This is one thing Bangkok is lacking. Although today the air is only the AQI is only 67 today. Um, you got to have clean air. I mean, year round. And this is one area where Thailand is really lacking. It really gets to me, and it's an irritant and an annoyance. And then I think about my long-term lifespan being cut a little bit short because of this, and then I'm like, I got to get out of here. And every day I think about how I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Got to get out of here. Me and the wife got to get out of here, and the kids. We got to get out of here. But we're in the middle of doing some things, and we can't go elsewhere now. So that makes it difficult. All right. Number four, clean water. You got to have clean water, reliable, and it would be nice if it were drinkable tap water is a plus. Now, I brush my teeth with the tap water. I wash with the tap water. I don't have any problems. I don't really trust it that much. So that's another annoyance here, but I could just go and get a filter, uh, attach it to the sink, and then when your water comes out, you get it, and it's nice and clean. Number five, minimal traffic. This is another thing that Bangkok is lacking: minimal traffic. I know people who they're over by Victory Monument, by Mabung Krong, in that area, and the traffic is horrendous. There are days I'm on Lot Prow or Romkapang, and I'm going, what am I doing here? I'm just wasting my life going from here to there, and the traffic is so bad. So that's another weakness of Bangkok itself. Now the other cities in Thailand are not that bad, but some of them are. Um, but I would say when you're going to move somewhere, you need to think about this. It's not worse than Manila. Manila's traffic is horrible, far worse than Bangkok's. Man, I am sweating up a storm. Uh, Number six, not a tourist trap. No overly commercialized or crowded areas that are just full of tourists, and I can't stand that. And that's why I don't go to Pattaya very often. I don't like Phuket, and it's because of all the tourists. Even Chiang Mai is kind of like that, but you can get away from that in Chiang Mai at least. You can get away from it in the other areas, but it's a little more difficult. Um, so that's a definite right there. I don't want to be around a bunch of tourists. And if I look here, there's one lady in here. I don't know if she's a tourist or an expat. There was one foreign lady. She looked like she was British or American or something like that. And that's it. The rest they're all Thai here. This is a predominantly Thai neighborhood, and where I live is predominantly Thai, and I like it that way. I didn't come 11,000 miles to the other side of the earth so I could be surrounded by people from my own country. I just don't. I don't need to. There's a few. Okay, I've got a few friends, and that's fine. But I don't need to have 200 friends from America. Oh yeah, what a great. It doesn't matter to me. You know. Do you miss Thanksgiving in the States? No, I haven't had Thanksgiving in the States for years. I mean, what do I miss that for? I don't miss it at all. It's been like I used to go to the Netherlands every year at Thanksgiving, and they didn't have Thanksgiving. That was about 5 years. So for about 35 years, I've had Thanksgiving maybe twice in Thailand. I didn't have it in the Netherlands ever. So for 35 years, I've had two Thanksgivings. I don't miss it at all. It doesn't bother me at all. I would miss seeing white people, and I'm black. Well, you'd be an anomaly here a little bit. There are more blacks here, and they're more accepted than they used to be. It used to be that blacks would go up to the door of a disco or something. It might still happen now. I don't know, but not as often as it used to. And the people would go, "Oh, this is a members club. You can't come in." And they'd be like, "What do you mean? I'm not African. I'm black. I'm from America," or something like that. They go, "Sorry, you can't come in." So now the Thais are more accepting, and the women, they didn't used to like the black guys a long time ago because they used to think, they got elephant dongs or whatever. Now the women like them. I mean, they're not. I don't know. I don't know whether they'd be more apt to go to white guys or black guys. It doesn't really matter. If you got game, you'll get some women, and that's the least of your worries. Number 7, laid back lifestyle. Why would you go to a place where you're going to be more stressed out than you were in the United States? And this one guy has written me a few times, and he's told me how he thinks that Bangkok and Thailand is more stressful than America. And I'm like, look at where I am. I mean, I can have this in America, but I have this every single day. I'm chilled, you know. I don't hurry to go in. I never rush. I don't hurry to get to a place. If I have a plane that leaves at 10 o'clock in the morning and I got to be there at 8 o'clock, I'm leaving at 7. And that way I know I'll be there. Maybe I'll be there at 8:15, but I got plenty of time. I just don't put myself in a position where I need to rush, and I don't have to rush. I'm laid back. You know, the one thing that you have to learn here if you're moving here is Mipe and Rye. Never mind. Take it easy. Don't worry. You have to learn that. If you don't, you're going to be freaking out. My wife says she'll be home at 9 o'clock. At 9:30, she comes home. Do I worry? No, not at all, because I know this is how things are here. Also, because of the traffic, right? So you got to get used to the laid back lifestyle. Number 8, hassle free long term stay visas and residency options. And there are those here in Thailand, but I'd say, oh, there goes some squirrels. There's two little squirrels chasing each other. Um, if you don't have a work permit and you don't have a long-term visa, such as a retirement visa, marriage visa, non-immigrant B, which is you can get a work permit with that. If you don't have those things, it is a little bit more difficult to stay here. Now, I was surprised at Ecuador. I mean, at Portugal and Ecuador, but Portugal, I don't know how that leads to. I've got to do some more research whether you can become a citizen or not, or you can get residency. I know in Ecuador you have to be there for like 21 months or something like that. So that means you cannot just take off and go. You have to be like 21 months out of 24. Now, once you do that, then you can become a permanent resident. And then from there, you can go to perhaps getting a passport and residency in the country, which those things are important, kind of important for me. I don't know why, but they are. Okay, number 9, of course, safety and stability, low crime, no political instability. And while Thailand has had its share of coups over the years, even during the coups, it was pretty safe. I mean, I worked as a journalist during a few of the coups, and they might check my credentials, but generally they were all very friendly. I mean, the Thais were walking up to the soldiers, and the kids would sit on the tanks, and they'd give them flowers, and I mean, it was just, yes, kind of surreal. Number 10, decent infrastructure. Of course, you have to have decent infrastructure, good roads, internet, utilities. And that's one thing that I would say that Thailand has above all, is it does have a good infrastructure, and it's improving. It continues to improve. Um, I've been talking about this for a long time, but I don't know if it's MRT or BTS. Maybe it's the MRT. I don't know. You see, the yellow line is the SkyTrain, which is normally owned by the BTS. However, this is the MRT. The MRT handles it, but that doesn't mean that you get the same prices as MRT prices. So on Ramkhamhaeng Road, they have this huge, really, I don't know how long it is, but it's quite long. Uh, you go underground, which is like the MRT. Then you come up and you go like onto a SkyTrain, which it's all one. It's all connected. You don't have to transfer over or anything like that. You go on the SkyTrain, and then you go down below again to the MRT as you get further into the city. That thing it's been made for about a year. Now, in last year in June, I think they signed the contract for the cars. They finally got that done. And I think this year, supposedly in April, I don't know, it changes. They're supposed to to allow that to open. Now, if that opens up, oh my God, that opens all kinds of possibilities, because you have the SkyTrain that goes towards Chatuchak, and then you have this that goes farther east, and then it's going to go underground, then it's going to come up, and then it's going to go straight, and it's going to go, well, this, I think it's the orange line, goes straight, then the yellow line kind of veers off, and so they're going in slightly different directions. And what it'll allow is people to go in a lot more places in the city without having to take a taxi. I mean, I tried to get a taxi this morning, I couldn't even get one. And then I get one, and then a couple minutes later, the guy says, "Oh, I'm too far away," and he's like a block away, 2 blocks away. It's ridiculous. So the infrastructure is improving here and will continue to improve. However, the one thing that they do need to do is improve the infrastructure in the countryside. And although it has gotten better with the buses, um, the what do you call them? The domestic buses and also the local buses, they need a little bit more. And I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but I know they're working on it. Okay, proximity to an airport, not completely isolated, easy access to flights. I mean, I like to be able to at least, an hour and a half, you get to the airport, boom, you're there, and you take off. I don't want to have to, well, I've got to take a 4-hour journey to get in there. I don't want to do that. So for me, that's another uh, necessity. Good local food and coffee. Doesn't have to be fantastic, but you got to be able to get a good meal, because you appreciate the food quality and good coffee. It's pretty good coffee, actually. Hopefully, you will have the next topic on this list, which is a quiet environment. in my village, it is fairly quiet. Now, today's a Friday. That means there's a lot of people going to work. The street in and out of the village is only two lanes. Those lanes are completely full. I mean, there's motorcycle drivers trying to get by people, and there's no room. So, yeah, it gets busy sometimes, and it's sometimes a little bit noisy, but most of the time, it's pretty quiet, and I like it. I could do with more peace and quiet. And, you know, I really would like to talk to my wife about this because, we have a house in the South, and that house has all kinds of fruit and vegetable. And I mean, I wouldn't say we're self sufficient, but we want to have chickens. I don't want pigs because they stink, they cause a big mess, but I do want chickens. That way we have eggs and we have chickens, right? Plus, we want fish. We have water. We have a big pond right next to the property. So we want fish. So that's great. It's fantastic, but it's not the. I wouldn't say for me. It's out in the jungle. It's a little ways out there. It's out in the jungle. I kind of want something on the beach. Now, if the wife said, no, 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 let's just forget about that. Let's go and stay at our house. If she could just come to that agreement and maybe we were able to stay there and have a little bit of alone time. I don't necessarily mean that in any certain way. I just mean that we could have some time where we're alone. Because when we go there, it's not like we're alone. We have people all over coming over, and I mean, sometimes I'm like, you're doing my head in. And they're not even doing anything, but they're just there. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. I like the quiet. Number 14, and I kind of said this already, but not too many expats. I don't mind having a few expats around, but I don't want to be surrounded by them. I can't live in Pattaya. First of all, I think most of Pattaya is a bit of a shithole. Second of all, there's just too many foreigners. I don't want to deal with foreigners most of the time. I don't want to have to not, hey man, what's up? I don't want to have to do that. I just want to live my life, right? And after a while, it's not that important. And I don't know how Pattaya Bob does it. Kudos to him. Good for him. He's got his life there. He's all set up, and he's man, he's in the middle of it. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of it. And Jomtien is turning into Pattaya, which whatever. That's the way it goes, right? I couldn't live there. And my wife wanted to buy a place out in Chiang Mai a while back. I'm like, if I'm not going to live there, what do I want to be there for? She's like, oh, we'll have to get a car, or maybe a motorcycle. We'll have to get boat. I'm like, okay, so now you add, a million baht for the car, 800,000 for the car. You add another 100,000 for the motorbike. So let's say a million baht. You're adding a million baht to the price of the house. Plus, you got the upkeep on all the vehicles, right? Which is what I think about the upkeep, because that means you got to put money out every month to keep the motorbike and the car going. You got to have insurance. You got to have all these things. It's not like you can just, grab a little car and then you drive around and nobody's going to care. Oh, you don't have a license. You don't have insurance. You don't have any of this. Oh, we don't care. They do care. You want to be legal if you can help it. Is there anybody out here now, or is everybody just listening? I don't get it. What's going on? Not very many people today. Why is it a shithole? Thais seem to love pet. They do. That's because they don't go into Pattaya. Certain times of the year it's overrun, but 6 to 9 months is off season. I think you need to think again, buddy. Go into the heart of Pattaya. It's a big city now. And when they go to places like Bangsan, or they go a little bit. on the outskirts of Pattaya. Most of them don't go and hang out around Walking Street or something like that on Beach Road. They don't do that. Okay, let's talk about that. Why is it great to be around an expat community? Why are you moving if you want to be around expats? I question that. To have expat friends is one thing, but to put yourself into a big community and like always, I mean, I know guys, they meet up with people, twice a week and they want to hang out with them. And, you know, everybody says, oh, it's so much cheaper in Pattaya. You can live cheap wherever you want. You can live cheap in Bangkok. Listen, I got an apartment, I mean, a townhouse. It's 7,000 baht a month. That's $200. It's not even well, it's $200. It's about $200. Okay, $200 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's why I'm like, I don't need to get anything else. For what? Even if the lady raises the rent to 8,000 baht, which she's not going to. And you think Pattaya isn't polluted? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. And there's no attractions? I don't think so, buddy. I think you need to think again. I don't know if you live here, if you're a tourist, I don't know what your deal is, but Pattaya, the ocean is a shithole. You can't even go swimming in it. If you go swimming in it, you don't know what the hell they're putting in the water. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Oh my God. You have no idea of the things that you can do here. Not only can you do things like go to the movies, go to the mall, have a coffee, go out to great restaurants, whatever. There's also all kinds of attractions. Have you ever been to the Erewhon Shrine? Have you ever been to uh, Jim Thompson House or all of that? They have shit. They have shit. Pattaya is shit compared to Bangkok. I guarantee you that. I do like the fact that Pattaya has an ocean, but you can't go swimming in it. I wouldn't swim in that crap. Eh, not me. I'd rather go somewhere like I've told you guys about Kanom, Sichon, Kokut, Kolipe, places like that. Those are much, much better. That's rubbish. You don't even you don't know what you're talking about. Seriously. You have no idea what you're talking about. You can go to there's like 5 different floating markets you can go to, and they're all pretty different. I mean, come on, get real. You got to get real, buddy. Let me tell you something. Bangkok has far more to do than Pattaya. Like I said, Pattaya is a shithole. I don't know if you live there, but guess what? It's a shithole. Um, Outdoor and nature access where scenic landscapes with green space or nearby water. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know what he thinks. I don't really care. Me and your opinions disagree. They differ. We differ. Okay, and you can have that opinion. Oh, I love Pattaya. Oh, there's so many beautiful girls there. It's such a wonderful place. No, it's a shithole. It's a shithole. Oh God. Listen, we're not going there. All right. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to get back to the subject of this. Uh, you can catch fish there, but and I've been fishing there. I have gone fishing, and of course, we went far away from uh, Pattaya City, and we caught fish on the boat, and we ate them right there. Now, what I would say is, it doesn't matter where you are. The fishing, the fish. Some of them are going to have toxins. They're going to be subject to whatever kind of shit they have. Thank you, Richard. I mean, wherever you go, you have to think about this. But I'm going to say in Pattaya, raw sewage goes into the ocean. You don't want to go swimming there. Okay, so now let's go. Let's go lay on the beach somewhere. Okay, Have fun. Have fun. Phuket, the beaches are better. And that's Phuket. And Phuket's got too many Russians, too many people, too many tourists. It's not true that Thai people don't like foreigners, but when you are in a tourist area, they are a little bit jaded. And you can understand why. Oh, give me discount. Why I don't get discount? Oh, too expensive. Too expensive. I hear this shit all the time, man. All right. So let's talk about these things. The cost of living. Can you live comfortably? That's all it amounts to, right? Let's be real. If you're moving abroad, whenever you're moving, unless you got just filthy fuck you money, I'm talking about you got 50 million, 100 million, 300 million dollars. You got money, you don't even care because you know you're earning so much, you don't need to think about it. Okay, most people don't have that. That's maybe the 1%. If you are kind of, even if you're well off, you got to watch your money because if you don't watch your money, then in the near future you might not be so well off. Um, but the question is, do you want to scrape by? Do you want to live and just have a peaceful existence? Or do you want to progress? Do you want to live well? Which is what's important. You want to live well. I live very well. I mean, that's the thing. I haven't lived on the cheap. Probably in the beginning when my wife and I started going out and when we decided to live together, uh, that's when we were like, oh, wow, we don't have a huge amount of money. We were looking at going, oh, we need to be careful. We need to, and that's when we really cut back. But now, at this juncture, um, we're a bit better off. How much do you need a month in Thailand to do whatever the fuck if you want? Well, I mean, what do you want to do? You want 10 girls? You want 3 girls? You want to go on a boat every day? I mean, it depends on what your lifestyle is. But what I would say is, if you're single and you have $1,500 to $2,000, you can be comfortable. You don't have that much to worry about. You know, what if you had a lot of money and the Thai girlfriend wants to live in the village, but you want to live in the city? Well, you're going to allow that? I wouldn't allow it. I'd say, sorry, you're not my girl anymore. And you allow her to go back once in a while. You say, okay, you're going to have to go back. That's all there is to it. I mean, my wife is from Suwon. She goes back probably 3 times a year, and I go back with her probably twice a year. But if she was to say, "I want to live in Suratani," I'd be like, "All right, well, let's go. We're going." But if she said, "I want to live there alone," I'd be like, no." And it's funny because she had a friend who has a house, and I don't remember where it was, but she had a house out in the country, and she had a boyfriend, and it was a Western boyfriend, and she spoke good English. She was a nice girl, but the guy said, "Oh, I just want to, I'm not working now. I have money and I don't have to work. I want to just stay at your house out in the country." And she had to work. She was working in the city. And you know what he did? He went and screwed around on her. She found out. She was heartbroken. She's trying to get him to stop screwing around. He doesn't want to stop screwing around because why? But he lives with her. I mean, supposedly he's supposed to live with her, but he's not. He's supposed to be with her, but he's not. He's living in her place, not paying any rent, not paying for anything, and he's like, "Oh, but this is how it's going to be, honey." And she was like, "What?" She went nuts. Now she eventually told him, "You need to leave," and he left, and that was the end of it. But that's what happens. 10K a month. Well, I've had 6 or 7K a month coming in. And you know what? It's not all that much different, to be honest. I mean, I did used to go to G clubs and I used to go to, coyote bars and stuff like that. I used to go out with my friends. but that was part of business. And that's, we would go out. We would go out and we would want to talk business. So we would go out to some of these places. We'd have a good time, but we'd be talking business. And, I didn't really have to pay that much most of the time because I wasn't the top dog. The boss had to pay. But, I don't know how much different it would be. I mean, even now I take grabs whenever I want. If I'm going to go somewhere, I don't walk out to the street, walk down the street, go to the end of the village, wait for a taxi. I haven't done that in years. I just call a Grab. They come pick me up. Yeah, exactly. What if your girlfriend had 5 vaginas? What would you do? How would you please her? I don't know. Now, you can stay in a cheap place, but it could be a shithole. And that's what most of the time, cheap places tend to be a little bit shitty. So what you want is to, and this is what I do all the time, you shop by value. If you see a place and it's 3,000 baht, you go, wow, it's so cheap. But then everywhere around you, people are smoking yaba. There's whores that are, like they're not even like whores that deal with Westerners. And all you have is shitty people around you. Why are you going to live there? And that's why we live in the village we live. People think that our place is expensive. And I'm like, really? I love my rooftop pool. I mean, listen, if you want to spend a little bit of money, 25, 30,000 baht, you can get a place, you get a pool, you get all the little amenities. But really, I mean, I've had friends. I had one friend, he had a $5 million, uh, what was it, a townhouse or a condo? I think it was a condo. And his place, there was a little drop down latch, and then there was some stairs, and you could go up, and then there was a roof. You could go up, and we used to exercise up on the top. He had a punching bag. We had focus mitts. We had all kinds of stuff, and we used to go up there and exercise. So that's another thing. I love how people just spit out all these figures. Depends on the lifestyle you want. I can go out and spend 500, 1,000 baht just on me for a meal if I want. I don't know where Mr. Billy is, but we've gone to a place a couple of times. Uh, no idea. Now, when you look at the menu, you're going to pay at least, say, 600 baht a person. But more than likely, you might get an appetizer. You might have a drink. The next thing you know, by the time you get out of there, it's $100. It's 3,500 baht. Now, that's for 2 people. It's not all that expensive, but when you think about it in terms of living in Bangkok, you know, well, $2,500 a month for somebody who's single, who doesn't want to go crazy. I mean, think about it. If you pulled a girl every day, and she costs you $100 a day, right? That's 3 grand for the month. If that's how you're going to do things, which you should not do that. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, listen, if you are filthy rich, I don't know why you would come to Thailand unless you're going to come on vacation and you're going to stay at, say, the Four Seasons in Koh Samui, which I think that's 75,000 baht a night. 75,000 baht a night. Now, me and my wife went, we'd be like, okay, so that's 37.5 each. If we went for 3 days, that's more than 100,000 baht for just 3 days. That's a lot of money to me. So it really depends on how you want to approach your fiscal, how you want to approach dealing with your budget and everything you got to pay for. You don't want to stay in some shithole. Listen, Chiang Rai is a good place aside from the burning, low cost, great nature, fewer tourists than Chiang Mai. I've always liked Chiang Rai more than Chiang Mai. Kampot, Cambodia, small town charm, cheap, scenic, and not overdeveloped. Cuenca in Ecuador, great climate, affordable, and lots of expats. Listen, I stayed in a Yampe. I really liked the Yampe. Now, the one thing is that there are a fair number of expats that live there. You know, so they're everywhere. This is the thing. You cannot get away from people nowadays. If you want to be a hermit, then that's a different story. You might as well go out in the middle of the jungle or the forest or whatever and build yourself a little place, and then eventually people will come. That's how it works. Another place, Penang, Malaysia, not the cheapest, but a great value for what you get. The sweet spot is 1,500 to 2,500, as I said, for a comfortable life. But that depends on the country. Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, they are all great options. What about Ecuador, Mexico, Portugal? What is your number? What is the figure that you think you need? Because I know people that go, I can't get by on less than $4,000 a month. Okay, listen, I understand it. As I said, I have made good money in the past. I made about $6,000, $7,000. It was a few years ago, but I made that money, and I was what am I supposed to do with all this money? What am I going to do with it here? I gave some of it to my wife so she had some spending money so she could pay our bills. You know, but that was during the time when I told her, don't go to work, stay home, take care of the kids, get something for the kids. You know, so again, what's your number? There goes the SkyTrain again. How about healthcare? If you're retiring, you better have access to decent healthcare. Some countries have fantastic hospitals: Thailand, Malaysia, Mexico, Portugal. Others not so much. I know in Ecuador that the healthcare there is quite good. Does not cost an arm and a leg. Are you paying out of pocket? Is there a solid insurance option? Some of the best hospitals in Asia are in uh, Malaysia, Thailand, even Singapore. Bangkok and Chiang Mai have good private hospitals. Portugal has great health care. U.S. residents get EU residents rather, sorry, get public health care there. Panama has a special health care discount program for retirees. If you're someone with health concerns, which right now I'm not, this is something you need to seriously look at before making a move. Healthcare is a big consideration. Okay. Number three, visa and residency. Let's talk about that. Is it easy to stay long term? That is always the question. And you get these little 20-year-old, 25-year-old kids. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to stay there. I'll be a tourist, man. I'm going to go out of the country every 3 months. You're going to go out of the country every 3 months, and one day they're going to go, no, you're sorry. We're sorry, but you can't just do this. Well, then guess what? You're going to have to go live somewhere else part time. Then you're going to come back to Thailand part time. Then you're going to go somewhere else, whatever, if that's how you want to do it. $3,000 a month is the sweet spot. Splitting the year in 3 countries the best way. Most people will go off their rocker if they stay in Thailand long term, in my humble opinion. Okay, so I guess I'm different. I haven't gone off my rocker, although I used to really want to go, because you know what? I really don't want to travel now. I don't know why. And even to go somewhere for, let's say I wanted to live somewhere for 3 or 4 months, somewhere like in Europe or Ecuador or whatever it might be. And you know, if you're going to go for 3 months, you don't need to get a lot of the same things as if you're going to live there permanently. So I think Thailand is my hub pretty much no matter what. You know, Andy, how you doing, Andy? Yeah, Indonesia is another one. I think the prices are going up there. Bali is a good place, but again, um, you know, that's the way it goes. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the thing. You know, you say what you want to say, but I've been here for 30 years. Am I all that different from everybody else? I don't think so. I don't think I'm an anomaly. I mean, I have a friend who was living here. He's lived here as long as I have, except for about 3 years, he's lived in Cambodia. Maybe a year he lived in the United States. Um, he's lived here a little bit longer than me, with the exception of those places that he's lived. So now I've lived. You're crazy. Seriously, you're crazy. If you're single, $4,000 is plenty of money, and that's not rich. I mean, really, $4,000 is only $1,000 a week. It's not that much. Now, if you want to go out and you want to eat well, you don't want to cook your own food, you don't want to buy groceries, you just want to go out and have a nice meal. It doesn't matter if it's 500 baht or 1,000 baht, doesn't matter. Then you can do that. Then you need $4,000, but you don't really need it. Uh, the visa and residency is a big issue. Some countries make it easy to retire. Portugal, Panama, Malaysia with their program. Others, well, you're doing visa runs, border runs, or constantly worrying about renewals. I can tell you that after 30 years here, um, dealing with visas is just part of the game. I don't really have any problems with it because I've already had it set up for a long time. It's not an issue. But it could be if you are somebody who goes, well, I'm only 27 years old and I've got $5,000 in the bank. I don't know how much I make every month, but usually it's around $1,200 or something like that. If you're one of these guys, well, then it's going to be more difficult for you. And it's just a process. That's all it is. It's not that I'm in a better way or, oh, I'm here, you're there. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just a process that you have to go through when you're younger. Well, what do most Thais live on? I think I think you really have no clue. Seriously, because I think a lot of people think that most Thais are dirt poor, and they are not. Cost nothing. Wow, that's great. What's the matter? You don't know? What's your deal? That's the thing. You have to give us your credentials in order to be able to say things like you know what you're talking about. Because I know about how much they make, and they make a lot more than they used to make a long time ago when everybody used to think they were dirt poor. And listen, nowadays the Thais don't have any problem walking in, paying for a something at Starbucks or something like that. They have no problem doing that. I mean, even some of the girls who don't make much money are making 20, 25,000. Okay, if you say so. If you say so. All right, so um, Portugal has the D7 visa. Panama, uh, well, if you think about $2,500, I mean, no, what did he say? $2,500, right? My first Thai friend from university. Your father is former governor of Payao, and I know for a fact most of her friends are rich. Listen, the average Thai, if you're talking about just the average salary, is right around 30,000 a month. It's 29, 30,000 a month. Okay, if you look at you're going to find different amounts depending on how you word your question. Well, actually, the average U.S. household salary is about $67,000. I just heard it the other day. So I don't know where you're getting your information, but whatever. Give us a story about someone you know in Thailand who's gone off as rocker. Well, a long time ago, I told you about. Oh my God, dude, you are so fucking full of shit. Seriously, you are full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What's funny is if a Thai makes, listen, my son's friend who is only like 23, he makes probably $4,000 a month when he gets his stipend. He has to get his stipend. He gets about $4,000 a month. Okay. Now he lives at home. He spends maybe 15 or 20,000. All the rest of it goes in the bank. He puts it all in the bank. He's saving it. You know what? I gotta hang on a second here. Um, what is going on here? Uh huh. Who knows where Billy is? I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's watching, laying there watching. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing right now. He sends me messages almost every day, but I don't know what he's doing as far as the chat goes. Um. Anyway, listen, buddy. I'm here to tell you, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Seriously, you have no clue. Brandon, what is this? What are your thoughts about inflation? Well, I can tell you, um, if I tell you what the inflation is in Thailand, the amount is somewhere around. It varies, but it's anywhere from like 1.5% to about 3%. Like I think it was 1.8% last year or the year before that. So it's less than in the United States. And Thailand is a developing nation, emerging economy. And while I don't personally think they have their shit together, I think eventually they will get their shit together, even with the government. Anyway, let's go on here. Thailand is okay, but unless you have a work permit, a marriage visa, or retirement visa, it can be a pain in the ass. What do you guys think? How much hassle are you willing to put up with for the right destination? Yeah, he might. Who knows? That would be good. Okay, air and water quality. That's another thing. Do you want to breathe or boil your water? And this one is kind of personal for me. I don't want to be breathing in pollution. And while I drink bottled water, uh, again, I brush my teeth with water from the sink. Uh, I shower without anything that's filtered. I swallow the water. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Not here, but I do drink bottled water, and I could easily get a filter, attach it to the sink, and then we could just do that. That's fine. But sometimes the water is a consideration. You got to wonder, well, just how bad is it? Um, and especially like if you're in like Chiang Mai during the burning season, it ain't good. Places like Ecuador, Portugal, parts of Mexico, uh, much better air quality. And that's the thing. How important is the air quality and water quality to you? Dalat, Vietnam, mountain air, cooler weather, and much cleaner than most cities. Phuket, Panama. I have not been there. High altitude town with fresh air and clean. Algarve, Portugal. coastal region with great air quality. Now I've been by the water in Portugal, and I can say there is a lot of wind, and it's a stunning place. But you can go into parts of Portugal and it's like desert, you know. So I think it depends on where you are in Portugal. But I have heard about the Algarves, and I've heard about how nice it is there. So you should think about that. Now here they've got, and this in my notes here, I've got Vilcabamba, Ecuador, which I've heard of, but I've never been there. And known for having some of the cleanest water in the world. Um, Again, I've been to Guayaquil, I've been to Puerto Lopez, and I've been to Ayampe. And I had no problem with those places. The only thing was it was a little bit cloudy. So, you know, I would go swimming in the ocean almost every day, 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Me and my buddy we'd run down to the ocean. We'd go swimming for half an hour. And sometimes it'd be a little bit cloudy and a little overcast. And that kind of sucked. It wasn't all, you know, sunshine. You know, you're wondering, oh, I hope I don't get burned today. You know, it was a little bit different than that. So, well, I take Croatia actually. Okay, so now safety and stability. Can you walk around at night? Are you safe? Nobody wants to live in fear. Some places are safe, some aren't. Thailand is safe for the most part. Cambodia depends on where you go. Mexico, depends on where you are. Medellin, but you better be careful. And I've been to Medellin, and I really liked it there. I thought it was fantastic, man. The food, the coffee, the people, I thought it was great. But you do have to watch yourself, okay? Um, and that brings me to the next question, which is what are your concerns about safety um, wherever you decide to go? More people coming in here. Oh man, inside it's full, completely full. Okay, see, this is a thing where it's about preference. It's all about preference. Do you want to go to South America? Do you want to go to Central America? Or do you want to go to Southeast Asia? Or do you want to go to Europe? It's all about what you want. Okay? And I'm here to tell you if you want to go live in Colombia, have at it. Go. You want to go live in Brazil? Go. Go ahead. Do it. Personally, I like Asia. I like Asia the best of all. That's for me. Okay? Um, Thailand is generally very safe, but sometimes you have to watch yourself in tourist areas, nightlife areas. Portugal, one of the safest places in Europe. We didn't have any problems in Portugal. Malaysia, very safe, especially for expats. I've been to Malaysia a few times and I've never had any problems. San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, one of Mexico's safest cities for expats. Would you rather sacrifice cost for safety, or is that your number one priority? Listen, safety has to be considered. You have to think about safety. It's got to be in the top. I mean, you know, safety and healthcare and cost of living are probably the top three for me. Okay. I like Vietnam. I like it a lot, but you're not going to be able to stay there long term on a retirement visa because they don't have one. Would you rather sacrifice cost for safety? What are your requirements? Uh, Vietnam is underdeveloped, but guess what? Their coffee scene is extremely developed, more so than Thailand, I would say. They have a lot of great things there. But I'll tell you what, I had a guy who wrote me and he goes, listen, if you're looking for a girlfriend or something like that in, where did I just go? Da Nang. He said, dude, he's like, I have tried for many months and I don't get any action. Now, I don't know if that speaks for the person who was writing me or what it was. I have no idea. I know plenty of people there that, you know, they end up with some Vietnamese girl. I don't know what kind of girl or anything like that. Um, because it used to be in Vietnam where you were not allowed to be with them. You could not go into a hotel with them and spend the night with them unless you were married. So, you know, and some parts of Vietnam are fantastic. Now, one thing that I haven't really done that I've done in Thailand many times over, I've done in Cambodia, I've done in Myanmar, I've done in Laos, I've even done it in Indonesia. That's go out into the countryside to where there are almost no foreigners, or there are no foreigners, um, and it's a much different world than from being in the city. Uh, and in Vietnam, I have not really done that. I've been all along the coast. I've taken the train from Hanoi all the way down to Ho Chi Minh, and I stopped in Hue and Quy Nhon, which I love that place. Quy Nhon was fantastic. The girl at my hotel, she was like the best. She took care of me. She was a gem, man. She was so awesome, you know. And it was funny because I asked her, "Do you have a boyfriend?" No. I go, "Really? You don't have a man?" She goes, "Oh, I have a man, but he's not my boyfriend." And I was like, "Okay, I got it." Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it used to be in Thailand. Listen, when I first got married to my wife, I'd be walking along and I would see some like older person. I'm talking about like an old lady or old man, and they'd be like giving me the stink eye, and I'd be like, "What did I do?" But it was just they weren't used to seeing a Thai person with a foreigner. Now I don't get that. We don't get that. It doesn't happen. My wife used to go, "What do you care what they think?" She's like, "I'm the one that they're thinking about, not you." I was like, "Okay, whatever." So, and yes, Vietnamese are very conservative. But listen, like the Thais are generally pretty conservative. Not all of them, especially the younger generation. However, when you get them behind closed doors and they open up to you, they're not very they're not very conservative. Sammy, what's happening? Sammy. All right, number 6, lifestyle and community. What kind of life do you want to live? Are you looking for a quiet, laid back place? Do you want an expat community? No. Do you prefer to blend in with the locals? Yes. Um, for me, I like my space, and I don't like to be surrounded by foreigners, and I don't like to be surrounded by Thais, quite honestly. I like to have my space. Um, but I still want to have some modern conveniences. That's the thing. I'd like to live on a shack on the beach. Um, but inside of my shack, I want to have internet, TV, cable. I want to have all these nice things because it makes life a little easier. Um, Now, some of the places that I've got here, Ayampe, which I love the Ayampe. I know it's in Ecuador, and maybe not everybody has gone to Ecuador, but it was fantastic. And it's not like it's a huge place where you're going to go walking around and day after day you can go somewhere new. After about 2-3 days, you can walk the whole city. I mean, it's tiny. It's a little town. You go to the beach, you walk down. They got like a lagoon. You walk another direction. It takes you up to the street. We got dropped off. My buddy goes, "Where are you?" I go, "I'm right in front of some little market." He goes, "What's the name of it?" I told him the name. He goes, "I'll be there in like 5 minutes." He comes walking down the street, and he's like, "All right." He's like, well, "I'm 5 minutes down the road." I'm like, "All right, man, that's cool." Luang Prabang, Laos. Slow, scenic, and peaceful. I really like Luang Prabang, but guess what? Lots of tourists. Lots of Thai tourists, lots of Westerners. Too many for me. Bansko, Bulgaria, a bit of an expat hub, but still affordable. Anytime it says expat hub, I'm out. Vegan, Philippines, a historic town with a relaxed pace. Okay, I don't know about that place. Some guys want to be surrounded by expats, and others want to blend in with the locals. So, what do you want? Sammy, are you surrounded by expats, or do you have a lot of locals around you? Okay, kinda in Shinjuku. Okay, a lot of new hotels and stuff. Yeah. Well, you're in the big city, man, just like me. I want to get out of here, man. It's like my dream. Get me out of here. Hey, listen, we got 20 fucking flies. Got 23 thumbs up, and I've had about 40 people, which is not very many today, but whatever. But if you don't mind, you could smash the like button. Yeah, I think you blend in, Sammy. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. This is if you're not subscribed yet. Go down in the description, check it out. I've got all my social media stuff down there. You can always join the channel, hitting the hit the VIP section here. You hit join, boom, it's $1.99. Uh, whatever you want to do. You can join Patreon. You can use the Cash App. You can do all the things. Everybody who has helped support the channel, who is helping now, is down below in the description. I appreciate all these people. Uh, I'll be back in Thailand in May. All right, on the road again. Carnivore Chronicles. Carlos, Billy Ray, Jim, TkyoSam, Mitch, Dowlo, Carlos, Stephen, John F, Andy, Andy Travels, Alan, Suwon, Tim, Mindy, Lee, Narve, David, Robert, Firedude, Florin, NCS Play Inc., Gilles, Dale, Charles, Beason, Tom, Chris, Bahtman, Victor, Bruce, Chuck as in Chucky, Tony 7682, Henry, Dimitry, Daily G, and of course, Mr. Richard Cook. Thank you, Richard. Okay, so let's get back to this here. Accessibility. How easy can you get in and out of the country? How important is it to have a major airport nearby? And for me, nearby is less than 2 hours. I can tell you that I used to live in Palm Desert, and to go to LA was a major ordeal because of the traffic. It sucked. You know, it was just terrible. Now, I think they have some airport there, and you can fly, but it's like $100. So it adds a bit of money to when you're going to LA. Who wants to pay that? But anything less than 2 hours is probably pretty good. I'd say hour and a half or less is good. Um, some people just don't care though, and others like me, they want to be able to hop on a plane and visit family or just to travel rather easily. If you're Singaporeans, if you are in Ecuador or the Philippines, it might take some effort to get back to the U.S. or Europe. If you're in Thailand or Malaysia, it's much easier. Does that matter to you? Um, I can tell you in the Philippines, it was a pain in the ass. Every time I was in Angeles City, oh my God, what a pain to get to Manila. And then if you're in Cebu, oh my God. I mean, it's not that bad, but I don't know. They just don't seem to really care about the people and their experience at the airport. Penang, Malaysia, direct flights to many destinations. Medellin, Colombia has an international airport, but not a hub. I don't know what that means. Panama City, Panama, major airport with flights to North America. Uh, Lisbon, Portugal, a major European hub with flights everywhere. Uh, if you like to travel, this may be a big factor for you. If you don't, then You just might not care about it. Let's see here. Yeah, I know what you mean, Andy. I know what you mean. I mean, I like the people there, and you can go to some fantastic places. But I've been there many, many times, and I don't really. I mean, aside from the boxing people that I worked with there, my friends there, I don't really have a reason to go there. I've already been there and seen a lot of really nice things, and I don't want to go back. Maybe that's the reason why I don't go back to Cambodia, but I may go to Cambodia just to see my buddy. I have a free ticket, you know. Now you see what people do at cafes here. Oh, photo me. Okay. Now I want to hear what is on your list. Tell me what you like, what you want. What is the one deal breaker? What's the deal breaker for you? When you're choosing a country to live in, what is your deal breaker? Um, you can put it in the comments after the stream. You can put it, or in the chat rather, after the stream. You can put it in the comments. But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think are the three most important things uh, when deciding where to live, to move? Because Thailand is not what it used to be when I first moved here, but I'm in a position now where it's not like I can just leave. I can't just pick up and go. I'm glad you seem to know what you're talking about there, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you are. Anytime someone comes on here and tells me something about my weight or how I look or something like that, I can only assume that they're a troll. This coming from a fat fuck himself. My God. I weigh less than I weighed when I was on the keto. So it shows you what you know. We'll see you later. Crime can't be where you are out at 11 p.m. Toledo, Spain. Okay. And could get shaken down even by the police. Colombia. Yeah. Um, I've heard of people getting shaken down here, and usually it is in rather obscure tourist areas, but not all that often. And it just depends. It really depends. Depends on where you are, what time it is. There's a lot of things. Are you alone? Are you with a bunch of people? I don't get shaken down. I start speaking in Thai, and most of them want to know, where do you come from? What do you do? What are you doing? They want to know everything about me. You know. Oh, I can tell. Okay, let me see something here. Anybody else? Anybody else have any requirements to where they're moving, or do you just not care? I'll go wherever the women are. Which, of course, that's what some guys are like. Oh man, there's so much pussy there. I can get laid. Oh wow, I'm gonna have a great time. Yeah, you got it, Andy. Those are the kinds of things that I'm looking for. Healthcare, cost of living, transport, friendly people, safety. Okay, need good hospital. That's healthcare. That's good. The thing is that if something were too expensive here, I could always go to a public hospital. I could always go to government hospital. So I'm thankful for that. You know, but I think that that's something that's very important. Healthcare. cost of living. I didn't think about transport, but yes, transportation is uh, pretty important. I mean, nowadays almost everywhere has Grab or Uber or whatever. They have ride sharing, and that's a godsend. Good vibes, yes. That's something that I think is important. Olive oil and God damn it, olive oil and bread. Well, olive oil is a must. Beer has to be under €3. I don't really care about the beer. Man, these little fucking gnats, they're driving me crazy. Um, I mean, the beer I don't really care about because I don't drink much beer. You know, fucking gnats are driving me nuts. Eh, I don't drink that shit. Listen, if I'm going to, well, you can get beer in Vietnam for like a buck 25. You can drink there like all night and it might cost you $10. I mean, you can get absolutely trashed for less than $10. Oh man, check this out. So nice here. Squirrels running all around. I am at Mivana Coffee, which inside is jam packed with people. Oof. What am I? Got this thing in the sun now. What's going on? Sweat my ass off. It's hot, man. I would really like if I had brought my gimbal. I could have sat inside, extended the gimbal hand, and been able to sit inside in the air conditioning. Go to go to the what is it? The Sheridan? No, not Sheridan. Is it Sheridan? No, the Marriott. Marriott New York Steakhouse. Very, very good. Go to what's that other one? The Angus one that Billy likes. I can't remember what it is. Go to that one. See, maybe we can move over here. Yeah, a lot of sun now. Sun and gnats. God damn it. Gnats driving me nuts, man. Yeah, you know what? The only reason I came here, I'll be honest, is so that you could see a little bit of Thailand. I know when you're in my office, you're at Pacamara Coffee, you don't see much. You don't really see much of anything. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. Yeah, there we go. You don't really see all that much. And I just wanted to show a little bit, show a little off. What country is that? I don't know what my least favorite country is. Honestly, probably not. Not now. I don't really. Why? Oh, China. Oh yeah, yeah. I've already been to China. Been there a couple times. I don't want to go there again. No offense. I know my buddy tells me all the time, "Oh, you should stop being so hard on China." I'm like, no, I draw the line, man. You know, and India. I don't want to go to India. No offense to India, but I just don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with the people. I don't want to deal with people like constantly harassing me because I know me. And I'll be like, listen, I'm going to tell you one time, get the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. And if they don't leave me alone, I don't know, maybe, I might lose control and I don't want to do that. Russia, I loved Russia. Russia was fantastic. I went to Russia twice and it was awesome. First time was awesome. And then the second time and I was in Yekaterinburg. The second time I was in Moscow. God damn, man. And Moscow was nice, but I was surprised at how polluted it was and how the cars were just covered with soot. It was not good at all. I have not been to Australia. And everybody tells me, "Oh, you should go to Australia. You should go to Australia." I know, but Australia is a big place. It's expensive. I'd have to spend probably a month there, which is some cash. And I'm trying to sock away as much cash as I can, you know? Yeah, there you go, Andy. You won't go back to India. I have, Stephen. I know you don't believe me, but I have. Jesus. Rachada or Danang? Rachada. Rachada isn't even all that nice. I mean, you want to go to a massage parlor or something. Okay, that's and if you get towards Sukhumvit, which in Ashok, well then I like that area a little bit more. So, oh, there goes another squirrel. There's squirrels all over the place here. They're like tree rats. That's all they are. Anyway, wow, quick 90 minutes, huh? The thing is, when I stand up with this shirt, I don't look as fat, which is good. But when I'm sitting down, it's a little bit different because it's a loose shirt. I didn't want it to. I bought it. I thought I like it because it's kind of loose. I don't like stuff that's real tight fitting. I want to be relaxed, man. Well, let me just tell you the truth about what it used to be like. I don't know what it is. Um, it's cool. It's lightweight, but still, I mean, it's so hot out right now. But and I sweat pretty easily. I mean, for some reason. Uh, when I first got here, there was between 6 and 7 million tourists. Now there's about 40 million. So that tells you something. That should tell you something. There goes the SkyTrain. I'm debating on how I should get home. Should I take the SkyTrain and just go home and go that way, or what? Yeah, I bought a couple of shirts the other day, and this is one of them, and I like it. But yeah, it's all right. It's nice, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite shirt, but I do like it. I have another one that's blue, and I like that one better than this one. And there's a couple others. I may buy a couple more. I don't know. I don't know because now that I've gotten older, I don't fit into my stuff as well as I used to. You know, Certain things are smaller, certain things are bigger, so whatever. What is this? Do you think the ties will turn on Farang in the future? No. Yeah, but they'll still take your money, won't they? They'll still take your money, though. If you got the money that they want, they'll take it. They're not going to say, oh, no, you're a foreigner. I don't want your money. Come on, man. How do I know? I think you're guessing if you think you know. You really are guessing. You don't know. Nobody knows. All righty. I just don't think you know. I mean, if you go into a bank now and you got the right credentials, you say, listen, I want to transfer over 800,000 baht. Um, they they may let you open an account. There is no law that says you can't open an account. They just want people to be sure of who the person, know your customer. You know, well, listen, I don't need to live with Chinese and all this kind of stuff in casinos. I don't care about all this stuff. All this doesn't matter. When you talk about, oh, beer bars, and they're going to shut this down. Oh my God, we can't get beer on this thing. I don't care about any of that stuff. You can't have beer one day, then buy the beer and bring it home the day before. You don't have a chick, set it up with the girl. Get her to come over to your place. You guys sit around and get drunk, get naked, whatever. Have your fun. Every problem has a solution, and most of the problems that people have when they're here are they're just, they're minute problems, you know? So that's what I say. Listen, smash the like button. I have no idea, man. As long as they're satisfying it and they're doing it, what does anybody care? What does anybody care? Do they have the money? Well, if they're showing the money, then obviously I don't care how they're doing it. What does it matter? You know, if they said you got to have a million baht, would I be okay? Yes, I would be. You know, if you had been a bit more ambitious, worked an extra 10 years instead of relaxing most of your life and had an extra 500,000, how much better would your golden years be? Well, that's a good question. Um, yeah, 10 years, I might have been able to, yeah, I might have been able to sock away 50 grand a year. So that's 500,000. I'd have a lot more money. I don't know, because my money, my life is not all that money reliant. You know what I mean? You always got to have money. You got to have money to live. You got to have money to survive. You got to have money to eat. You got to. I mean, my kids have never been in a position where they weren't going to eat because we didn't have any money. Never, ever. And I've never gone a day. Obviously, I've never gone a day without a meal unless I wanted to. I have gone several days without meals because I wanted to. But I've never been like, I have no money, I don't have anything, and what am I supposed to do? How am I going to eat? That never happened. But what would I do differently now? I'd probably have a house. That's about it. I'd have a house. Maybe I'd have a motorcycle. Depends on where I live. I don't really want a motorcycle in Bangkok because I think I'll end up dying. A car, maybe. Maybe I'd have a driver. I don't know. It's when people think money buys happiness, gives a miserable person $1 million, and all you have is a miserable millionaire. Yeah, that's could be true. I don't know. Um, let's put it this way: I don't really have much to worry about at all. I got enough money. I'm okay. My wife's okay. My kids are okay. We're okay. I mean, could we have more? Of course. Would it be nice if I was driving down the street in a Bentley with a driver in the front? I guess it would be, but do I really need it? No, not really. I don't really care about it. You know, Well, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, listen, not many people can say they came to Thailand at 32 and they've been here for 30 years. And I enjoyed the first 10 years. I've enjoyed the whole 30 years, really. There's only been brief periods of time where I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Um, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, somebody said to me the other day, they wrote something. Oh, you seem like the depressive sort. I'm like, what? The depressive sort? Oh my God. And I said, you really don't know me very well at all. You shouldn't be sick. Don't think you know me. Seriously. Because you don't. You know what you see on the screen and what I tell you, which is pretty much what I want to tell you. I don't tell you shit I don't want you to know. I mean, that's just how it is, right? But you don't really know me unless you really know me. Like Billy knows me. Jono knows me. Richard knows me a bit, right? I mean, Andy knows me a bit. There are people on here who do know me. But most of you don't know me. So why do you think you do know me? You haven't got a clue. Seriously. You know, I mean, if I told you I really enjoy classical music, true or false? There's all kinds of things you may not know. Happy people are just happy, poor or broke or rich, and well, if it's not the money, it's a wonderful life. Look at blah, 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 he's got millions now, but he didn't earn. He's miserable. Well, I don't care about him. Listen, I hope he does very well for himself. That's all I'm going to say. I don't give two shits about him. He is irrelevant to me and my life. He doesn't matter at all. Okay? So there we are with that. And on that note, I think that's a pretty good note to say arrivederci. Choke the leo jerk and my. Pope can my. You know? That means see you later. Anyway, now it's starting to cool down. Now it's starting to cool down now. Because there's clouds up above. It's fantastic. I think I'm just going to take a taxi. I don't know. It's hot, man. It's got to be around 90 degrees. I didn't look. Sorry. It has to be around 90 degrees. Probably about 75, 80% humidity. But right now, just now, the clouds are blocking the sun, and it's a lot cooler. So there goes the SkyTrain again. I could take the SkyTrain, go to the mall, or I could just take a taxi and go to the mall, But I don't. We'll see. Anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do about streaming in the near future because I've been trying to slow down or stop streaming. More videos, less streaming. You know, and that's about it. Listen, Dale, I don't want to talk about him. I have nothing to say. My mother taught me if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, and I'm going to stick to that. So it doesn't matter. I wish him well. I hope he's doing great. Anyway, I hope he's doing as good as I am. Because I don't give a shit how much money he has or anybody has. Doesn't matter. I do get some guys every once in a while that write me and they go, oh, you're talking about this stuff, but you know what? My life is perfect. I've got this, I've got that. Okay, I'm happy for you. I'm not always talking about me. I'm talking about there are people out there who they have no clue of what it's going to be like when they come here. They have no clue what to think about when they're here. They're clueless, some people. They really don't know very much. And I'm talking about a lot of them. Okay? And so, no, I don't know who that is. What is this? Man, flying got expensive since I booked. One way to Shenzhen. Wow, crazy. Yeah, I have a couple trips planned, but I don't know what the deal is with them. I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit more because, um, yeah, I don't know. I got to think about it. I got to think about a lot of things. There's not too many places I really want to go now. I've been to a lot of places. I wouldn't mind going to Australia, but it's further down on the list. And yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I got to think about it. Every day, everything changes day to day. One day one day I really am. I'm thinking, God, I need to get out more. The next day, I'm like, you know what? I'm fine where I am. I don't want to go to Bhutan. Why do I want to go to Bhutan? Oh, it's so different. Yeah, it's so different, but they tell you where you can go, what you can do. I don't want all that shit. I don't want to be in a tour. I don't want to do that. I just don't. You know, I just don't want to. I don't really care. And to be quite honest, I mean, the trips that I've got planned, it's a lot of money. And I think to myself, what's more important, the money or going? Part of me is like, oh, I got to go. You know, it doesn't matter where it is. That's how I'll think. And to be honest, I'd rather concentrate on another place that maybe I would say, okay, 3 months out of the year, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, that sounds great. 3 months out of the year, I'm gonna stay in Sardinia or Croatia or wherever it is. Right? That's kind of what I want to focus on now. I don't want to focus on, oh, I want to go to this place and that place. I don't care about that stuff anymore. I care about where could I go, what places would I like to stay? I already know Ecuador, Portugal, maybe Spain. I don't know. My wife's been to Spain. I haven't been to Spain. She's been there. She liked it. Although they don't have a lot of great Thai food there. But, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, well, thank you very much, gentlemen and gentlewomen. Everybody's got these gentle women purses, and it's crazy here. They all have that brand. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Um, that's all I got. Do you have anything else? Any last minute comments for the chat? So with that, I shall bid you all adieu. I'll give you my little Y there. There you go. Thank you very much. And I guess I'll see you when I see you. I don't know when it's going to be. I have no idea because it could be on, what's today? Friday? Could be on Sunday. Maybe not. Could be on Tuesday. Maybe not. I don't know yet. I got to really think about it. I don't know if I want to keep streaming all that much anymore. I like the videos and the streams are good, but only once in a while are they really good. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm going to take off. Thank you very much. And until next time, choke the lel jerkin my. That is good luck and see you real soon. See you again. Boom. See you later. See ya. See ya.